Hey guys, before I start today's tutorial, I just wanted to say hi to my new subscribers and welcome to my channel. I decided that I would do something different and I would add a voiceover to my videos. I'll see how that goes. If it's better with music, I don't know. So yeah, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to paint a shirt. So basically fabric, and this shirt, the one that I was doing for my latest portrait, it had this checkered pattern on it. So it's fabric with pattern. So yeah, how to do that in watercolor. As you see me, I'm finishing off the face. I didn't record that, but next time when I do a video on how to paint skin tones and skin and faces, I hope I will post it as well if anyone's interested. So yeah, basically in the photo, the reference that I had, it wasn't just one photo, and I had to copy paste from different photographs to create this one, and I hope it turned out organically by the end of it. You will see the actual portrait. It's a double portrait, there's a cat as well, by the end of the video. So yeah, I started painting the shirt first with a layer of French vermilion, and I made this like translucent wash to go over all of the shirt, everything that I can see. And this was the brightest color of the shirt because in the reference it was bright red and deep blue, dark blue, like checkered pattern that would overlay, that basically the squares would overlay each other. And that's actually kind of cool to do in watercolor because that's what layers are for. Please notice that I cut out all the parts where I was drying off, when I was letting the paper dry. So every layer that I put on top of one other layer, it's actually a dry layer, so I wouldn't mix the colors together. So yeah, I mixed up shadow color. This is me laying down shadows. I mixed up the color with French vermilion, a bit of French vermilion with ultramarine deep. I use Sennelier colors, so that's the names for them, but I think you can find equivalent in any other watercolor brand. So yeah, and I added just a little bit of Payne's Gray, and this is the first layer of shadows. You will see that I layer my shadows one on top of the other. Yeah, this is the second layer of the French vermilion to make it brighter because it was just too bland. So yeah, this is the second layer of color, and now I'm gonna deepen my shadows. As you can see, I go over the same bits, but I keep some parts of the shadows lighter, so basically it creates kind of a gradient. Yes, here I'm using my new brushes. Those are the Sumi, I don't know how to pronounce them, the Japanese Chinese kind of brushes, but I'm not that happy about them. I will talk about them a bit later. Maybe I'll do a review on them, at least not this brand. But yeah, so then the pattern. The key to the pattern is, especially if you have a pattern that repeats itself, is finding lines. So I found lines that would go through all of the shirt, and they were crisscrossing each other. And there on the front of the shirt, you can see that there's like a kind of a bunch up of the lines because it was very creased because of the position he was sitting in. And now when the first layer is dry, I'm adding the second layer, which is going to be crisscrossing with the first one. So this creates the darker squares that were in the photo and allows me to have the lighter squares as well. Now I'm going to be adding another layer of French vermilion, but I'm not going to go over all of the shirt. I'm just going to go over the squares that were bright red. And yeah, so just to bring out the texture a bit more. drying again. I think I cut out most of the drying parts so the video isn't too long. Again, I'm going in, now it's Payne's Gray. I think I added it very strong Payne's Gray to the mixture of the ultramarine and French vermilion that I had before. And now I'm just intensifying the shadows because they're never dark enough. This is the thing with watercolor. Be careful not to go too dark. So yeah, this is the thing that I do. I tend to go very dark. But yeah, here, thankfully I avoided it. At least I hope so. I got very close to the, I think very close to the shirt that he had. So yeah, I'm creating, again, basic shapes, the ones that I see on the reference photo. I'm just painting in those basic shapes. As watercolor is transparent, you will be able to see many layers underneath, so that actually is great, and it shows you the layers that you put onto the paper previously. So now I'm gonna go in with the ultramarine deep, and I'm gonna just painting those squares that were dark blue. There we go. And yeah, trying to be careful not to go over the light areas. And yeah, for highlights, in this case I used white gouache that I diluted with water, so it's not white, but it's kind of like transparent-ish. And yeah, that's it. The shirt's done. I will post, you will see how it looks at the end of the video. Now there's the cat. So this is the second part of the portrait, the second subject of the portrait, and the reference photo for this wasn't very clear, so I'm trying my best to add as many details as possible. And first I start with the eyes, just to have some like anchor in the painting, and then I go over the darker parts that I see in the photo. Again, I'm letting everything dry before I continue. And this cat is a ginger, and he's ginger and white actually. So I went in the photo, he's kind of a peach color, so I diluted what was that? It wasn't I think it was Venetian red that I diluted, and also I used Naples yellow deep for this one. And yeah, I first layer in the base color for the cat, and then I'm adding the shadow parts. So again, I'm letting every layer dry before putting the second one on it. For the cat, I'm actually using not only watercolor, but I used also colored pencils. I don't remember if I shot that part with colored pencils, I'm not sure. So I'm going in layers with the cat. He has this pattern on his coat that all of the cats, if you look closely enough, all of the cats have stripes on them. Even my black cat, Chloe, she has stripes on her. If the light is falling in the right way, especially in sunlight, you can see those stripes going through all the coat. And I'm working with a small brush. It's not my tiniest brush, it's like, I don't remember the number. I will post it to the video description, I have to look it up. And yeah, so I'm working on his coat little by little, and I'm using also some white gouache on him. Usually I don't leave the fur white on pet portraits, but this one was so tiny, so I just went over with the water that I had over the cat so he doesn't like pop out of the page. And I'm adding highlights to the fur and to his eyes with white gouache. I mixed it in actually with Naples yellow deep. I just added a bit of Naples yellow deep so he's not like bright white. And so yes, here's the cat, all the highlights, all the small hairs. You can see that I'm creating the texture of his hair in the direction that it's growing. So always when you paint animals, paint in the direction that the fur actually grows, because otherwise you're gonna end up with an animal that hair grows into all random direction, and he's not gonna actually look like it. Look, so yeah, then I also used warm sepia, how do you pronounce, warm sepia color on this cat, so just to intensify the shadows, because I didn't want to use Payne's Gray on him. I will post a separate cat tutorial. This is just, let's say, a preview because he wasn't a large cat portrait on his own. But yeah, in future, I hope in near future, I will post a separate cat painting tutorial here on my YouTube channel as well. If you enjoy my art, subscribe to my channel. I will be posting more art tutorial videos on how to use watercolors, and hopefully I wanted to do a couple more paintings before I can do a review of Sennelier watercolors, and I will be posting that on my YouTube channel as well. Yeah, subscribe to my channel and hope to see you soon.